The holiday season has arrived, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the kitchen this weekend. Come with me as I make a pumpkin pie. To start off, I'm using my recipe for big batch holiday pie dough. To a large bowl, add 5½ cups of flour, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Mix everything together. Cut 2 cups of cold butter into small cubes. Mix a handful in at a time and cover them with flour. This will stop the chunks from sticking back together. With your fingertips, rub the butter and the flour together to break it into little pieces and mix them into the flour. This recipe will give you 3 double crust pies. Make sure you have a big enough bowl. It's about at this point that I realized I needed to switch to something bigger. I just switched everything over to my stock pot. It's going much faster now. After you have rubbed through all the chunks of butter, it should resemble coarse meal. To 3/4 cups of cold water, mix in 1 tablespoon of vinegar and add it to the flour mixture. Beat 1 egg and add that in as well. Mix everything until the liquids are all soaked in. Then switch to your hands and mix until it just comes together. Don't knead or mix the dough too long or the pie crust will be tough. Split the dough into sections, form into discs, and wrap with cling film. Chill in the fridge for at least 1 hour. While I'm waiting, I'm going to make the pumpkin pie filling. To a bowl, add 2 eggs, a cup of milk, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1½ cups of pumpkin puree. Blend all the ingredients together. To a separate bowl, add 1¼ cups of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a ½ teaspoon of ginger, a ½ teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove. Use your fingertips to break up the brown sugar and mix everything together. Add the sugar and spice mixture into the pumpkin pie filling and mix to combine. The pie dough has rested enough to roll out now. I'm going to roll it out into a circular shape a little bigger than my 9-inch pie plate. Keep turning and flouring your work surface to make sure the dough doesn't stick. The dough should be about 1/8 of an inch thick. I also dust the inside of the pie plate with a small amount of flour, so when it's cooked, the pie easily comes out of the pie plate. I place my pie plate on top of the dough to see how big I need it to be. I'm going to cut around the pie about 1 inch away from the rim. That way, when I go to form it to the inside of the pie plate, it should be the right size. Gently place the dough inside the pie plate and form evenly up the sides. Press with your fingers to get the edge of the crust to meet the edge of the pan. If you want to be more decorative and crimp the edge, you can do that now. Place the pie plate in the freezer to chill at least 10 minutes before filling and baking. Meanwhile, preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Pour the pumpkin pie filling into the crust. Bake for 10 minutes, then reduce the temperature to 350 Fahrenheit and bake for another 45 minutes, or until the center of the pie is set but still has a little jiggle to it. If you see the edges getting too dark, cover with foil. Let the pie cool completely before slicing and serving. Enjoy!